We are on Khan Academy, Introduction to JavaScript, Drawing Animation, and Drawing Basics. We are on the first challenge. So let's read the challenge. Simple snowman. In this challenge, you will draw a snowman using the ellipse command. Start off making a circle for the bottom of the snowman with an ellipse command, so we should start from the bottom. This should be the first ellipse command in your program. We have suggested some good values for the ellipse command in the hint code. Okay, as you see in the hint, there is a sample. So let's put that sample and let's see what comes out. Ellipse. As you see, when I open the parentheses, you can see X, Y, W, and H. X is the X coordinate, Y is the Y coordinate, W is the width of the ellipse, H is the height of the ellipse. So we have to put 4 numbers for those. So I'm going to put 200, 300, 150, 150, close parentheses, and semicolon. Let's see. So this is what we have. As you see, we get the feedback. So we are done with the bottom. You can play with the numbers to make the circle bigger. To do that, you go here. You can click. You don't have to type in the number. You can use the slider to make it bigger. As you see. But you should read the feedback. So when we make it bigger, we got a response. You might not be able to fit all of your snowmen on the canvas if you make the first ellipse for the bottom of your snowman that big. Try making the third and fourth numbers, which is these numbers, smaller. So we're going to put it back to smaller numbers. 150 and 150. If you want to get the accurate number, you can just put in the number. So we're done with the bottom. Click next. So it says the middle. Now draw a second circle for the middle of your snowman using another ellipse command. This should be the second ellipse command in your program. So make sure that your second circle is a little smaller than the bottom circle, just like here. And that it sits on top of the bottom circle. This time we are not given the numbers, so we have to figure it out. So let's see. Ellipse, open parentheses. What we know, the X location should be very close to that. Y location should be smaller to make it on top. So I'm going to put the same X value, 200. For the Y, I will put a smaller, slightly smaller. I will put 200. And then width and height should be smaller because this is the middle of the snowman. It should be smaller, so I'm going to make it 100 instead of 150 and 100. And close. Here we go. This is what we have. So we're almost done. Again, we can play with the numbers, just like here. As you see, it can move the location. And next step, the head. Now draw a third circle, just like here, for the head of the snowman using another ellipse command. This should be the third ellipse command in your program. Make sure that your third circle is a little smaller than the middle circle. So as we see, our pattern works. So we're going to continue doing the same thing. Ellipse, 200. For Y, we're going to put it a little bit up. So I'm going to make it smaller, like 150. And the head should be smaller than the body, so I'm going to make it 50 and 50. Close parentheses, semicolon. Okay, we get a feedback. The third ellipse for the head of your snowman looks too small when compared to its middle. So we're going to play with it to make it a little bigger. So let's make it like 60 or 70. And this one to 70. Here we go. And we're done. Those numbers don't have to be exact same numbers. There's some slight values that you can play with. So it could be slightly bigger or slightly smaller than that. It'll still work. But we are done. So finish the challenge. Now we're gonna go to the next challenge. Waving snowman. Our challenge is, let's see what it is. We have drawn a snowman like you made in the first challenge, and now you are going to draw more shapes using the commands you just learned. In this first step, use the rect command, which makes rectangle, to draw the ground, just like here, so that the snowman isn't just floating in the air. You should add your rect command before the ellipse commands for the snowman. So we have to put the code at the top so that the snowman looks like he is in front of the ground. Okay, so let's type it in. Rect, open parentheses. As you see, we have this similar type of values. X coordinate, Y coordinate of the rectangle, width, height, and radius. The radius, you can see it's optional. You can see that star there. That means it's optional. So we don't have to put anything there. So we're gonna put X, Y, width, and height. For the X, let's put 200. Then we're gonna play with that. For the Y, we're gonna put 400. The bigger Y value makes it on the bottom. Width, I don't know, I'm gonna make like 200. I don't know what is gonna come out. For the height, I'm gonna make 50. Close parentheses and semicolon. I don't see my rectangle. Let's see what it says. The top edge of your rectangle seems to be too far down. So, which means this guy. So I need to make it, let's make it 100. Here we go. So now it's too much at the top. I'm gonna move it down by using this slider. I'm moving it. I'm moving it again. Here we go. Let's make it 350. 350 should work good. Next thing, the left edge of your rectangle seems to be too far to the right. So I need to move it to the left. Let's see what it does. Oh, here we go. Now I can see my rectangle. Now I need to make my width bigger than that. So I'm moving it. So I need to move this rectangle to the left again, all the way to the edge. Here we go. Now I'm gonna make the rectangle bigger, the width bigger. Here we go. So step 1 is done. You can make the rectangle a little the height. You can make the height a little smaller, like that. Here we go. Brilliant, you can do it. Okay, next step. You got this part. Make him wave. Now you will make it look like the snowman is waving by adding arms on both sides of his body, just like here. Using the line command. So we have to use another command that is called line. You will need to add 2 line commands on each, which is right and left lines. We have given you some suggestions. So I think it's better to use these numbers. And then the other 2 numbers, we need to figure that out. So we have given you some suggestions for numbers in the hint code, but you can pick other numbers. You should add your line commands after the ellipse commands. So right here at the bottom. So let's do that. Line. As you see, this one is x1, y1, x2, y2, which means where do you want it to start? In the x location. Where do you want it to end? x2. y1, where do you want it to start in the y location? Where do you want it to end? Which is up and down. How much do you want it to go up or down? This one, how much do you want it to go right or left? Okay, let's use these numbers. 160 and 200. x2. So let's make based on this number, because x1 is this guy. x2 should be based on that. So I'm going to make it 200. I don't know what it is going to come out. And y2 should be based on that. So I'm going to make it 250. Just to see what comes out. Here we go. So this goes down. So let's move it and play with that. Let's see if it goes up. If this is meant to be the left arm, then we should play with this arm. Here we go. That should be good. Nice, you made one arm, now add another arm. Okay, let's do another line. I'm going to use this number, 240, 200. This time I'm going to make it 280. So it's going to make it from 240 to 280. And y2, this one is y1, so y2 should be something bigger than that, 250. Actually, it should be smaller than that, because if this is 200, this should be whatever we have used at the top. So we used 106, so we can use something similar to that, 100. And close. Here we go. This time it worked. And we made a waving snowman and finished the challenge. That's it. We're done with this challenge too. Now we can go to the next challenge.